Hi everyone, my name's Eddie, and today I've got set number 75405, Home on Starcruiser from the LEGO Star Wars fame. This set retails for $109.99 on LEGO.com here in Australia and has 559 pieces. I believe this might be my first LEGO Star Wars review on this channel, which is pretty exciting. I do collect LEGO Star Wars, however I've been focusing on LEGO Ninjago and a couple other themes, but I figured I might show you guys my first video with the Home on Starcruiser. It's a midi-scale ship, I believe that's the correct term. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty cool display piece, and since I saw it discounted at my local Kmart, I figured I might give it a try. So I'll see you in a second when it's all built up. And now that's all built, you may be wondering, what am I thinking? And I'm not gonna lie, but I'm pleasantly surprised. It's got some pretty cool building techniques, Easter eggs, and it's really compact. But I'll show you all of those up close right now. I think the first thing I have to say is, I didn't expect it to be the size it is. I knew because of the price it was going to be substantial, hopefully, and it did impress me. I do feel like it could be bigger, but we'll get into that after. I just have to say that I'm really impressed with the detail of the greebling and the size for what we've got right here. Love the, I believe, Nebula and B frigate on the side and like a micro scale, and it just makes it look so much more epic, and the scale looks amazing. I do really love that. My first set from this collection, so I don't have any previous midi-scale Star Wars ships or other things to compare it to, but I just love how sleek the stand is, and I believe just that one printed pieces, no stickers, no other printed pieces in the set, and I think that's another thing that made it feel more premium. It also looks pretty sleek, and I just love how it like fits onto the ship. It's, yeah, I believe, yeah, it's just attached on. It just fits around this round 2x2 plate that was not supposed to come off. I have to say that I think my favorite thing to look at in this build is just how cool the engines are. I think always on the large ships like the 10-4 and the midi scale, the minifigure scale, the UCS, I just always love the numerous like engines in the back, and I feel like it looks really cool. It really pops as well with like the hangar bays on the side, and yeah, I think it just all ties in really well, like the engines and the mini scale Nebula and B frigate as well. I love just tiny like touches of the dark red and dark tan. They just add a bit of color and make it pretty cool. I'm gonna show you the tiny Easter eggs inside. You can take off this panel piece. Oh, that was not supposed to happen as well. But as you can see, you've got a tiny micro A-ring in the middle. You've got, I believe, Hera, and I'm not too sure for other two micro builds next to them. And I believe that might be General Akbar on the... Oh, I'm not too sure what that's called as well. But yeah, it's pretty cool. That side probably could get taken off, although it's not supposed to. But I think, yeah, it's just really nice to have that along like the way during the build. It just breaks it up and it makes it more fun. Although, like, the build is mostly the same thing, just the middle, the top, the front, the back, and the two panels. It was pretty refreshing because it's not like identical one to one, just like the different kind of slopes and pieces, tiles, they're all in tiny different spots. So I didn't anticipate like what to put where too much, which is always nice because on a build it's nice to not kind of feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again. So just those tiny switches up, and I love those. So a couple of building techniques here, I believe. Yeah, it just, I don't know, it came together so perfectly, and all the gaps were filled so well. It was, I don't know, I really liked the build on this one. Only critique was the price. I'll get into that in more detail just in a minute. But I think the only thing that could make this set like super good was adding a minifigure, and they would fit so perfectly on like that gap. And I'm not too sure why they didn't, because for such a premium price, I feel like it really, you've got nothing to lose. But regardless, this one's really cool. I have to say, like, the set itself and what you've been given is like really amazing. Like, the build's amazing, the experience is fun, and there's lots of cool things that you recognize if you have a bit of knowledge regarding ships and characters. I want to add that the building process itself has a bit more value compared to other playsets. At the beginning of the instruction booklet, there's a bit of information and like lore behind the actual ship itself, which I think is definitely adding more value. I think as well the box may disappoint some people, but it's more appealing to, I reckon, older collector, and it just focuses on the product itself. Yeah, after looking at everything, I believe that this set is really solid, and for what you've been given, it's amazing. I would personally recommend getting it when it's slightly cheaper, if it's on like Amazon or a department store, or if you want it now. I think it's definitely a good set. I just personally wouldn't recommend it unless you were happy paying that price, because I know the price of some sets just can be a turn off, but the set itself is amazing. I just wouldn't let that price be a turn off if you can find it at a cheaper price, if that makes sense. And that's all I have to say in this week's video. So I'll see you next time on my video next Monday. See you then.